Yeah. CL. Yeah. Yes, sir. Them other guys ain't got no style. We know what's up before it go down. This is the rundown. This is the rundown. If you ain't know the deal, I bet you know now. This is the fans' voice. You hear them vocals. This what the people need and what they want now. This is the rundown. This is the rundown. If you ain't know the deal, I bet you know now. This is the rundown. This is the rundown. This is the rundown. If you ain't know the deal, I bet you know now. Hey. It's the rundown. About to go live. It's the rundown. About to go live. About to go live. Let's do it. Turn up. What's going down, people? What up, dog? What it do? It's your homie, CL. And I'm back on the Rundown Sports Podcast. Gotta know that. And I'd like to thank all y'all for coming. However you coming. Hopefully it's from therundown.com. That's DARUNDOWN.com, homie. Gotta know it. And if you don't want to come all the way to the site, you know, you got that iPhone, that iPad that just got that iOS 8. That podcast app is right there. Scroll through there, look for the rundown, hit subscribe. And if you like what you hear, man, go ahead and give us a rating review. Let us know how we doing, and that'll help us out. Because even though that might take a minute of your time, it'll last a lifetime for us. You can also catch it, YouTube, coming soon to Stitcher. Shout out to the boy Uzo Beats. We got another knocker right here, man. Y'all know how I rock when it comes to the beats, man. I'm gonna try to do something with this too. But I don't want to hold the podcast up too much long because I had a lengthy conversation with my guest today, Keith Nelson Jr. of cultureapproved.com. Some of y'all might know him from allhiphop.com. Really gifted writer. And I had to get him on to come talk some hip-hop because this is the first inaugural hip-hop podcast for the Rundown Sports. Y'all know I like to say the Rundown is the new voice in Atlanta sports and hip-hop. I've been holding up the sports side, so it's time to do the hip-hop. Gotta know it. So we went so long I had to split it up in a couple pieces. Man, we talked a little sports, but we really got heavy into, you know, the whole hip hop bracket that Jalen and Jacoby just did, where Outkast came on top, and then we started spiraling into what happened to the groups in hip hop. Man, a lot of interesting things said. I'm gonna have a boatload of notes so you can jump around on the topics because we was jumping around all over the place. So I'm gonna just help y'all keep up. But ain't gonna hold it up, man. Let's do it. All right, joining me today on the Rundown Sports Podcast, I have Keith Nelson Jr. from cultureapproved.com. What's going on, Keith?
What's going on, man? What's going on, CL Smooth? How's everything?
Man, I'm cooling right now down here in the ATL.
Hot Atlanta.
You know, just cooling it, trying to stay out of the heat. But surprisingly, it's been a little cool over the last few days, man.
Okay. Gonna be outside with the chancletas and the shorts. I got you, man. No more shorts time. It's time for pants.
Gotta know that. I know you up top. You up in New York, right?
Yeah, man. I'm up down in the Bronx, right in the Bronx, New York City.
Boogie down.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess up. I'm bad with geography. I keep forgetting. It's that New York thing. It's that whole New York thing is that we think that we're everywhere. But yeah, I'm over here on the East Coast. It's pretty nice over here.
All right, man. That's what's up, man. Now, I had to get you on to the podcast because the Rundown Sports is now going to expand into the hip-hop as promised to the people way back on episode 1. So I've been I'm not gonna say religiously following your work, but I've been reading you on one of my favorite sites, which is allhiphop.com.
Thank you.
So to get started with everybody, I want you to just give the people a little overview about what you're doing right now, how you got there, and I got a couple questions about all hip hop.
Okay. Basically, how I got there, as you know, my name's Keith. I've been in journalists writing about hip hop since I was in high school. Like since I was in 11th grade, I wrote my first article I ever wrote was a review of Alicia Keys' song, "The Diary of Alicia Keys," and it was in my school newspaper and stuff. I still have it. It's somewhere in like one of the vaults. I gotta really find it, but it's a good piece. After that, I went to Syracuse University for English and Sexual Studies. Then out of college, I was broke and homeless because that's kind of what's going on in America these days. But kind of got through it. And one day I saw, and I was writing, and I started my own site a while ago called justair.com. I stopped that after a while, but that site helped me get some recognition. Like, I started interviewing some people. I interviewed Carly Hustle from, formerly of Hot 97. Shout out to Carly Hustle. And then I got picked up by All Hip Hop because they saw what I was doing. I applied and bada bing, and I got the gig, and it was good. It was good writing for All Hip Hop. I wrote for them from January of last year to about recently stopped working with them about a week ago. Just wanted to really focus more on cultureapproved.com. My site really wanted to give it my 100% all, and just spread my wings. But I thank them for everything they did for me. But that's where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm really just writing about everything that I see, whether it's video games and hip hop. Just really trying to get into a renaissance of writing.
See, if writing was really my thing, I probably could do that. But my strength comes from audio, so I know people, they see my blog posts sometimes, it seems like I'm mailing it in. I kind of be doing sometimes, but I just tell people to work with me.
I got you, man. If you need me to write some things down for the site, I can help you on. One hand wash the other. But, what you said?
I was just saying, gotta know that, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man. So let me ask you a couple things about All Hip Hop. Did you meet any of the crew there?
Yeah. Me and Chuck Creekmer, the owner, founder, me and him worked together a lot over the year and a half, and he's one of the major reasons why, not that I stayed in working in the industry, but more so why I didn't let it get me down. Because in this game, especially as a journalist, you get discouraged really quickly when an artist doesn't want to respond back to an email, or your article isn't getting enough views, and you get discouraged because you don't know how to go about it, or at least for me, I didn't know how to go about it and really promote myself. And he was a good dude. I met him. Some of the writers, Johan's one of the writers, videographer Elijah. I met Grouchy, real good dude. Grouchy, what's up, Grouch? Funny dude. What
about LC?
LC, yeah, I met LC. I'm not going to reveal who he is, but I did meet him. Everybody, that's the one question everybody asks me. It's almost like they ask me. It's almost like if you was Stedman and your wife was Oprah, and they would ask, "So hey, Stedman, how's everything going with you?" Okay, so how's Oprah? What's going on with Oprah? I'm like, yeah. I met LC. He's everything you read from him is exactly how he is in real life.
All right, I guess that's good enough. Well, maybe we find out one day, but I ain't gonna be on.
One day he'll reveal it. One day he'll reveal it. He will.
I mean, yeah, it took Kane a long time to take that mask off in the ring. So maybe someday we'll get LC to come on Instagram.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Hopefully it's not as dramatic, and he doesn't suck after he takes the mask off, like Kane did.
Oh man, I could go all day about that. But before we get into the real deal hip hop, I know you be writing about sports, and I even seen you last night with the racial fantasy draft. That had me dying laughing. that was some classic Twitter moments. The Justin Bieber, Johnny Manziel trade, Beyonce for 10 years, $200 million on a baseball contract.
Because here's the thing, I don't mean to cut you off, but here's the thing about that. That's what I love the most about Twitter. That's when Twitter is at its highest. Like, I hate when people use Twitter to try to, like, judge what's hot, like, to 100% judge what's hot, because Twitter isn't as big as people think it is. But when you use it to just bounce off different ideas, because like you said, that really started from just one person tweeting out something about the racial draft, and literally it was like 1:32 in the morning, and people were just going off on just, and you just saw so many different ideas that you never would have thought of. Like, there was one that I saw where somebody was like, if they trade the rights to the last dragon, I'm trading myself. And I was like, yeah, we can't give up the last dragon. But then you really start seeing who people value and like who people really want. Like, I was baffled. Nothing against Cameron. Nothing against Cam at all. But I was completely baffled that people were going. There were people saying that you can never trade Cameron. Like, Cameron is like Michael Jordan or something. Like, oh no, you can never. Like, he's LeBron, you can never trade Cameron. No, that's a no trade. What? I'm like, hold up. We got to really go off the last 10 years. And nothing against Cam, but I wouldn't put him on any team I had. If we're going off of who we want to win a championship with, Cam's got to be in the practice squad. Yep. He got to be in the practice squad. Him, Joel's, Jim could be the coach, assistant coach, or the water boy. I don't know, man, but he can't be unless you're making moves. But my favorite trade, I won't get too much on this, but my favorite trade by far was the Beyonce trade. For like, it was 10 years for $200 million and like an option to become the Secretary of State in like 10 years. I'm like, because the thing about it is it comes back from the Dave Chappelle skit, which was one of the first of all, Chappelle Show is probably the funniest TV show.
It's number one
of the last. Well, you know what? And I wouldn't go against that. I wouldn't go against that at all. It's probably the funniest show it's definitely the funniest show of the century, of the 21st century. I don't think I've laughed consistently at any other show than Chappelle Show. And the genius about the Chappelle Show was that it wasn't always funny. It made you think. So this whole racial draft wasn't just about, let's see who could be the funniest one always. It's also about, how can you make certain things salient? How can you make things known? Like, I think one of the tweets that I sent out was, we'll trade you with people half of the things we invented if you stop telling people Jesus is white. So it's like it's like trading things. It's like what do you value about your culture, and also what do you think the other side values about their culture? It's like a fun way to play with stereotypes without anybody getting hurt.
Man,
that's what I liked about it.
I might have to work with you. Might have to do a little post about that.
Man, you know me, man. I'm like,
because that was a good one, man. So, but all right, let's talk a little sports and then we can get moving. First, do you got a favorite NFL, NBA team?
Yeah, man. All day, every day, St. Louis Rams, man. St. Louis Rams. We coming for the NFC West title, and in the NBA, of course. I mean, I'm in New York. And there's no way you can't be born and bred in New York and not have some love for the Knicks. So the Knicks, of course, I'm riding and dying for the Knicks.
All right. So how you get to be a Rams fan?
Well, in the 90s, I'm going to keep it 100% honest with you. See, I'm going to keep it real with you right now. In the 90s, I was one of the biggest bandwagon kids ever. I had no morals. I had no loyalty. I had nothing. I would jump from team. I was the Bulls fan because in the 90s, because of one reason, Michael Jordan. Once he left, I went through a weird 2-year phase. I didn't know who the fuck I wanted to like. Like, wait, can I curse?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know who I want. I didn't know who I wanted to like. Then '99 came, and I'm a guy who likes offense. I like wide receivers. I like wide receivers, like jump shooters. I like things that you can get the most out of it by doing the least. You know, you shoot a jump shot from behind the arc, you get 3 points instead of 2. You throw a pass, you just throw a pass. You can get 60 yards instead of running it and getting 10. I like that. That's the kind of teams that I like. Is the teams that use the most, do the most with the least. And the Rams, I just read an article about the Rams '99 season. They were the greatest show on turf. It was fun every single game.
Okay,
like
so
watching Marshall Falk, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to say that Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce team. Yeah,
Ooh,
that was a nasty
Hakeem,
squad. I see what you're saying. I ain't gonna jump on you for being a bandwagon because I say you got till you about 18. Once you 18, you got to make a choice, and after that, you're a disgrace.
I like that rule. We should definitely have a rule on when you have to make a team, and it should definitely be the same age as when you're allowed to smoke cigarettes. Because I feel like once you're allowed to smoke cigarettes, or you're allowed to go to the Army, you're allowed to put more than just your life on the line. You put your whole sports credibility on the line. And I've been a Rams fan since '99, so I didn't stop. And anybody who knows football knows that if you're a Rams fan in the last 10 years, God bless your soul. Like,
yeah, so wait, hold on. What? I mean, cut you off, but you're right about that. So let me just ask you, what you gonna do with Sam Bradford? You gonna get another quarterback?
We gonna let that man go. We gonna let that man go. We gonna trade him for. If we doing a real draft or real sports, we gonna trade him for like a draft pick. We probably gonna trade him to like the Jaguars or not Jaguars because they got a quarterback. Probably trade him to like the Vikings or something where they got a quarterback too.
I was
Dang.
about to say you probably try Arizona. Or
yeah. No, but they got that backup dude. That dude who's working right now. He about to take Carson Palmer's spot.
I don't know about him. He's a career backup. He's not gonna last.
Yeah, so we definitely gonna trade him. We definitely need to, because you can't have that. Like, I watched my dad hurt every game being a Jets fan because Chad Pennington was soft as eggshells. And you might think eggshells are hard, but you put a foot on that, it's cracking. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is that we can't have that. We had him. He was injury prone when he was in Oklahoma. He was injury prone when he got out of Oklahoma. And now he's injury prone. Like, he's just injury prone regardless. And I don't think I've watched a full season of him playing football for us and felt like he's the guy since his first year. His first year was his best year when he got us to the playoffs, and we almost got to the playoffs, and we just missed it by like one game. Because of one game, we might have missed it. But we letting that man go.
Yeah.
Who's your teams? Yeah.
My team is the Saints. I ride or die with them, with Drew Brees, Sean Payton, Mickey Loomis, the trifecta. I believe it when it's right top down. Now, I'm not a bandwagon guy, but originally I'm from Michigan, and I was a Lions fan for a real long time. Still am, but when I moved down to Atlanta, I'm kind of the guy when everybody's going right, I'm going left. So I didn't like the Falcons, and the year I was supposed to move down here, Falcons lost in the Super Bowl, and I was like, nah, I can't deal with no team that loses Super Bowls when I'm supposed to go down there. So it's like just so many different things steered me toward the Saints. And then I had one guy that got drafted who I thought might have been a cousin of mine. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go all in on the Saints. This is during Aaron Brooks' years now. This is not during the Drew Brees era. This is during Aaron Brooks, Jim Haslett era. So I've been through the struggles. I've been riding when it was bad. So to have Drew Brees, Sean Payton, the offensive wizard, I feel like we can't really lose if the defense come up. So that's where I'm at on that, man. But everybody knows on the podcast about how I feel about them Saints. If not, y'all can go back about 3 podcasts. Y'all listen to that week 1. Now, I seen right before you left All Hip Hop, you was writing up on the Ray Rice situation.
Mm-hmm.
All these new details coming out. You got the outside the lines report, and what it sounds to me like is Ray Rice is caught up in some double jeopardy type situation.
Yep.
And the NFL trying to, stomp out the fire and, pretty much got burned. So I'm thinking he might have a real chance at getting back in the NFL because they did it once and they're not going to get to do it twice.
Yes, you know what? That's actually very true. I have the same opinion. Like, I wrote this article on cultureapproved.com called "The Next New." I have to make sure I say that because the D after cultured is very important. Called "The Next New," and I just basically said that Roger Goodell, he's getting fired. He's getting fired because the main reason he's going to get fired, and I have very little doubt that he's going to get fired. I have doubt. I mean, I say I doubt because the recent events and how how they're wording it, how the NFL has been doing their little PR shit, it's making me think that the owners might just acquiesce to whatever Roger Goodell wants. But he's going to cost them money. He's going to cost them a lot of money because here's what happened with the Ray Rice thing. Besides just the double jeopardy is that right there is horrible because you've already admitted that you think he lied to you. They said that Ray Rice wasn't his answer wasn't clear and it was a little ambiguous. So you're admitting that you punished the guy for hitting his wife and you didn't even have clear information. You didn't even have clear information and went through with it. And then you saying that you didn't see the video, which is the only thing. The video should be the only piece of evidence that should be even taken into consideration. Ray Rice's testimony should be like, okay, yeah, cool, we'll see, and then get the video.
Right.
And then with the NFL, Roger Goodell trying to make all these crazy excuses like, oh, it would have been illegal for us to ask for the video, which was proven to be wrong. He said it on TV. That's illegal to ask for footage during a police investigation. And it's like, then how did TMZ get it?
Right.
Like how did TMZ? And then TMZ guy asked him at the press conference. He was like, how did we get it? And we have one guy on the story, and you guys have a whole department that deals with this kind of stuff.
Right.
Like that shows that and then
they didn't want to know.
Double jeopardy is. They didn't want to know. And the double jeopardy happened because of the Baltimore Ravens. Because the Ravens, to me, especially the owner, now that we found it out, we hearing reports from OTL that the Ravens owner actually saw the video too beforehand. So now we're finding out that everybody saw the video. Now we find out that everybody saw it. The owner saw it. The NFL saw it. What I'm starting to see is the reason that Roger Goodell went back on his suspension of Ray Rice so quickly was not just because of the public outcry and everything, not just because of the video leak, but because the Baltimore Ravens basically were like, yo, we were in this together, but you told us this shit wasn't going to come out. Now that it's come out, we got to cover our asses. Yep. Because remember, the Ravens cut him before the NFL did the whole indefinite suspension. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the Ravens informed the NFL what they were going to do. So that phone call was probably like, yo, Goodell, we cutting dude. We tried to keep him because we know that he makes money for us and everything. We know that we're a better team with him, but we gotta cut dude because we gonna lose a lot. We gonna lose a lot keeping this dude. And then when they heard that, they're like, we gotta go back on our thing too. Mm-hmm. When it's like, whoa, you going back on what? You already punished him. There's nothing new. Mm-hmm. There's nothing new that he told you. You guys didn't do your job. So that's just bullshit on that end. And it sucks. The worst thing that it sucks is that now we have to sympathize with a woman beater. We have to sympathize with a man a little bit. We have to sympathize with a man who struck his wife twice as a football player because the NFL didn't do the right thing. That's one of the biggest tragedies besides Janae Rice getting hit is the fact that the NFL made it so that we're now sitting back like they fuck Ray Rice over. When we shouldn't be thinking that. We should be thinking, oh, Ray Rice deserves everything he gets that's bad. But now it's like, hold up. If you're gonna punish the guy, at least do it correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just take one stance on it and just kind of go from there. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna wrap up on Ray Rice. My thing is, and I just heard this echo through one of my last podcasts with J.R. Gamble, is the NFL is not really in the personal recovery business. You know, they're about that check. And the one thing that I think people are forgetting about is Brandon Marshall. This dude, like a few years ago, had a few domestic violence incidents. You know, some police called out to his crib down here in Atlanta. And come to find out, this dude has some real mental issues. And since then has become a spokesperson for people to get more educated on their mental health. The NFL needs to start investing in recovery of people that might have mental illnesses and those who might be struggling with drugs like Josh Gordon. And that's the angle that I think the NFL should be trying to stand on instead of like, we won't stand for this or won't stand for that. Let's start fixing people. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to go ham on a tangent. But you got something to say on that?
There's no need to hold back on that because what needs to be done is exactly what you're saying because we live in. It's not even just the NFL. This is an American society problem. Mm-hmm. An American society problem where we don't help people. We just punish them. We put them in a jail cell, and we tell them, stay there for a while, and then come out and be different. You know, be better. It's like when you're punishing the kid, telling the kid to go in their room, they come back out, and you're like, okay, you're changed, right? How the hell did the kid change? All you did was put him in a room. Mm-hmm. That's it. You know what I mean? Same thing with the Ray Rice thing. Like he got this pre-trial intervention program that like 1% of people get.
Right.
For domestic violence things, that's not helping. You're not helping him by giving him extra leeway. Now, I'm not trying to say put him in jail or anything like that because he's getting help. That pre-trial prevention program is going to help him. But at the same time, it's like, why isn't there an NFL program?
Yeah.
Why hasn't there been an NFL program on that? Why is it that? Because this isn't the first time. This is the first time that a athlete struck his wife or has been accused of domestic violence. Because you know what happened what the MLB did right when this Ray Rice thing came out. They was like, oh shit, let's review our domestic violence guidelines. Yep. Do you know why they did that? Because they're like, if it happens to them, it can happen to us. The MLB is the only one of the big three that didn't have a controversy this year. The NBA had that Donald Sterling crap, and then they recently just had the Danny Ferry dude.
Yeah.
So they had to rethink their whole racial PR, and now the NFL got this. So the MLB is smart. So what the NFL should have did was been like, whenever they saw athletes hitting their wives, whenever they saw that happen, should have went back and be like, let's make some precedents. Let's make some new guidelines. Because the fact that there was no rule in place for how many suspensions a player can get for hitting his wife is just stupid. When there's rules in place for how much time a player can get for smoking weed, but there's no rules in place for how much time a player can get for hitting his wife. Like that doesn't make any. And I understand why, because the NFL used to be heavy on, like, drugs used to be. I remember I forgot what Steelers team did this, but one of the Steelers teams back in the days admitted that they were like half the defense was on coke when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like the day they won the Super Bowl. So the NFL has been dealing with a big drug problem for a while. So I can understand why there's stringent rules on weed, but there needs to be change. There needs to be programs in the NFL, not outside, not helping out with getting them into these free programs because of the law and shit. I mean, in the NFL that can help these players to show people that we're actually helping out people.
Right. All right, man. We kind of run a little long now. You still got a little time for me? Cause I still want to talk.
I got time, man.
All right. Now I think we're gonna cut this one off, and we just gonna do all hip hop side of the session. So everybody, y'all stay tuned for part 2. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. Y'all stay tuned for part 2. Y'all stay tuned for part 2.